Welcome in to 11 Personnel presented by Monticello Bank. I'm Nick Roush. He is Adam Luckett, and we are in the middle of more transfer portal madness. Madness, I tell you. It was a crazy day, very crazy afternoon. We're going to talk about it all. And first, I'm going to tell you about our friends at Monticello Bank. They are proud presenting sponsors of 11 Personnel. They've been with us for a while, and they've been with the Commonwealth for a while. Since 1895, Monticello Bank has put people first. It's where people matter. You can't stay in business that long if you don't do it the right way. They do it the right way. They get the numbers on your side to give you the best rates possible, whether it's basic personal finance or you need to get a big loan, whatever it may be. Right? Whatever your banking needs are, check out Monticello Bank. See what kind of rate they can get you, because at Monticello Bank, it's where people matter. Check them out online, nbcbank.com, or at a location near you. They got them all across the Commonwealth. Monticello Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and proud presenting sponsors of 11 Personnel. Mr. Luckett, how you doing today? You had a lot of free time and been bored? Nothing going on?
Did get a run in, so that was nice. But yeah, I've hit the wall probably the last hour.
Yeah. It's one of those. It's a marathon. So like
I've watched like 7 snaps of football today.
Well, I at least had the first game on like that. Trevor Lawrence threw that interception about 5 minutes before all of the commitments started happening. Yeah. So I was able to get the first game in. Second game, not so much. Turned it on at the end just in time to watch the Eagles lose. And I guess now, what's up with all these guys just not – I get it in the NFL. If you're close, you want to get 6. But they're just saying, we don't need the points in a bunch of one-score games. I don't understand.
Yeah, again, I didn't see any. So I can't comment.
We got a second screen rolling right now. Chargers Patriots going on. Shout out to DJ Moore. It was the touchdown reception. Cashed a lot of tickets last night over at the Roush House, so we were having a good time. But there was commitments yesterday. So there's commitments all the time. So let's just start with the wave that happened today, because it was madness there for about an hour. We had 4 commitments go live in about 45 minutes. And it started with Mark Manfred. Manfred Man, blinded by the light. We were blinded by this one. Hadn't come across the name Manfred before. He was a 3-star prospect from Georgia who committed to Missouri a year ago. Didn't play, redshirted, but 6'2", adding some nice length to the cornerback room, Luckett, where there's just a lot. Seems like there's a lot up in the air at that position.
Yeah, there's per our roster tracking, 11 scholarship cornerbacks, Nick. Right now, it looks like Teron Nichols and Hassan Sykes would be the Western Carolina transfer would be your starters, and then there's kind of a battle royale for this next spot. And I think Mark Manfred's going to be in there. He fits the theme of kind of what we've seen is, the reserves they're getting, they want guys with power conference experience, even if it's little. So Manfred spent the year at Missouri. Now he's coming over, and he's going to be kind of in that Braxton Urquhart, who's a junior college transfer, Nasir Addison, DeMarcus Gardner, Andrew Purcell mix. And then Andre Clark, I think the real big one at corner to me was the Andre Clark.
High school foot.
High school. That is, it kind of gets lost in the wash, but big time player. Was considered one of the best cover corners in this class, in the 26 class. Mm-hmm. So I think there's potentially a path for him to play some early.
Yeah, and you also wonder too if Bateman's going to run this 4-2-5, like how many of these guys they think can line up at slot corner, kind of play a nickel. So that's something else to kind of consider while going through all this. That was Manfred. That was the big one. And just while we're on Andre Clark real quickly, like, you're right, it does kind of get shuttled under the rug because it's in the middle of transfer portal season. But I mean, Kentucky, the last coaching staff was recruiting him and thought they had it in there. All the stuff hits the fan at Michigan, so he gets out of his NLI at the last minute, and now he's going to be a Cat. So that was a big one. The other familiar name for Kentucky fans happened, I don't know, 10 minutes after Manfred, and Ja'Caden Ferguson, the wide receiver from Houston, he was committed to Kentucky for quite a while back when, I guess that would have been that wasn't Shorts that recruited him, right? Or was it?
That was Shorts. That was
Shorts?
Shorts year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. Shorts recruits him out of Houston. He's committed for a long time. His 7-on-7 highlight made the rounds. Talented player who ultimately decided to flip to Arkansas late in the process. He's there for a year. Unfortunately, burned his red shirt, but has 3 years of eligibility. And part of the reason why I mentioned the Texas is Joe Price. He's Eastside Joe, Houston native. I have a feeling that connection and Ferguson's familiarity with Lexington helped play a role in that commitment. He was visiting campus yesterday. I believe he was at Rupp Arena last night. So he was the next one to join in that wave of commitments.
Yeah, for him, I think the expectation is to maybe be a rotational receiver. I think him and Xavier Daisy, the UAB transfer, are kind of in that same boat, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
They're still shopping for the starters.
Yeah.
And that's going to come in a few days. And then I think DJ Miller, who's kind of the last holdover, is right there. And then I think Kenny Darby, the true freshman from Louisiana that they got there at the buzzer in the early signing period. I think he's going to be a guy to play there. But the wide receiver room's still incomplete. But I think Ferguson, like you're looking at him, it's probably your wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6 for the season.
While all of this was going on too, we got kind of like a text thread, and then all of a sudden Polachek's like, "Hey, Mark Robinson's committing. I'm going to break it." It's like, oh, okay, all right. Well, let's add an offensive tackle into the mix here. Who he's been a 2-year starter at lower levels. He was at Southeastern as a true freshman, started there, was all a conference guy, and then he started in every game as a true sophomore at UTEP. So adding some size, some experience, feels like this is a guy that they'll have him and Malachi Wood competing for right tackle 1.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy and probably the one player I might be the most interested to learn about. Started his career at NAIA as kind of, and he's 6'5", 320 or so.
Yeah.
So why was he starting at NAIA? What happened?
Yeah.
Then he goes to UTEP of all places, which is, you make the argument, the most obscure college football program in the FBS.
The Sun Bowl.
He goes to UTEP and starts at left tackle. Honorable mention, All-CUSA. I think had a solid season, not a great season, but yeah, they're not. Now that we see who they got later, we don't think they're going to start him at left tackle, and it's setting up to be a right tackle battle. I think with him and Malachi Wood, and then Olos Olinen. I guess that's how we'll find out how you pronounce it moving forward. His superpower is kind of the versatility. He play guard and tackle. He played some left tackle at Alabama. So he's going to kind of be your jack of all trades to move around. So he'll be involved there. But we're very much, it seems like, Nick, we'll see what happens with Tegra Shabola here in these next couple days. He would be a plug and play starter at right guard. But we're very much headed for a battle royale at the guard spots. They've got a bunch of guys, both returning and transfers coming in. And it's not, I don't think it's guaranteed who's going to start. I think you could end up, if they don't get Shabola, when you throw in right tackle in the 2 guard spots, there's going to be 9 guys competing for 3 spots.
And that's the name of the game for Will Stein, right? He said it. He's pretty insistent on that aspect of how he wants to coach, right? We're going to get better because we are actually going to compete for positions. We're not guaranteeing anything. And there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of candidates. But while we're on Tegra Shabola, let's talk about him for a minute, shall we? Because we were slap happy, cackling when we learned that Kentucky was in the mix for him after Kenny Minchie committed. Kentucky did not get the first visit. They actually got the last visit. So he went to Auburn and Ole Miss, correct?
That is right.
And then spent his Sunday at Kentucky. feels like the Cats are in a pretty decent spot. But this is a guy who's a 2-year starter for national champs at Ohio State. Like that's he's a ball player. Okay, you put that guy in, and okay, we know he's going to be moving some guys out of the way.
Yeah, and I think with Shabola, like I don't think it necessarily went great for him at Ohio State, but he is a proven starter in the Big Ten. And yeah, it's less of a position you have to worry about. Like I look at it this way. You've got Lance Hurd coming in here to play left tackle. You're going to have a lot of faith in him. You should, because that sticker price is probably pretty high that you had to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're going to be willing to put more on his plate where the left guard maybe has to do less. Where on the right side, unproven right tackle, probably going to have a battle. But if you have like the guard spot solidified with Shabola right there, then you have to worry less. You get what I'm saying about that right tackle?
Yeah. You're kind of balancing things out.
And then Colton Price is kind of the man in the middle there in the pivot, who's one of the best centers available this offseason. I think it's probably going to be one of the better centers in the SEC next season, kind of helping out those guards.
Since we're talking offensive line, we'll get to the other commitments that happened this afternoon in just a moment. Let's discuss Lance Hurd, because I was cackling like it was almost like when we found out the Tegra news. I was just like, I'm weird in that's my sort of, I don't know if defense mechanism is the right term, but I just love to laugh and drop F-bombs, man. And they were just flying left and right. I was like, they effing did it, man. Like they went out and they effing did it. They got the effing out. Like it was, oh man. Lance Hurd, folks, it felt like Kentucky was pot committed on 2 guys, Tyree Adams and Xavier Chaplin. They got neither. And it kind of left you thinking, like, what the hell's going on here? What are they going to do? What are they going to turn to? You have to get one of these. You got to get somebody proven to come in and start for you at offensive tackle, preferably left tackle. You thought they had an in with the LSU connection with Adams, but A&M ponies up. He goes there. And then Chaplin, you thought they were in a good spot. He's a 3-year starter. He all-conference honors at Virginia Tech. But it seemed like he just wanted to go to Florida State. You know, there's a little proximity to home, but I think just that conference, that league, he had a lot more success there. And he also knows some of the players on the team. So you kind of were just like, what the hell are they going to do now? Oh, don't worry. There was a bigger fish out there that they were preparing to fry. And it's one that I would assume that Joe Sloan played a hand in, because Hurd started his career at LSU before becoming an all-conference offensive tackle at Tennessee. This guy, you know the guy's good when you Twitter search him and there's a bunch of Cole Kubelik video clips of him just kicking people's asses. This guy freaking rocks.
Yeah, I think just the evidence, a little mounting here, it's clear they had a top goal. It was like, we're getting one of these big fish at left tackle, and we're going to spend money on getting this position secured. You know, you go after Tyree Adams, you go after Xavier Chaplin. Jacob reported Chaplin, like Kentucky had a 7-figure deal on the table. They didn't lose him because they got outbid.
Right.
So they were in the game trying to get one of these guys. Lance Hurd, popped in early, but his recruitment was really quiet. Like, you really didn't hear much about. The only thing that really kind of popped up was A&M was involved, and even Wilkin Formby, the Bama right tackle. Kentucky was even a name link there. So they were going after the top of the market at offensive tackle, and they were able to get this done. I think it was important for them to keep that really quiet.
Yeah.
For them to get that done, and they were able to do it on Saturday. And it was, to me, that's the biggest surprise. Well, Minchie was a pretty big surprise. But this one was up there.
Yeah. Oh man. And it makes me so happy. It just, because it's one of those things that up until this point too, did you really have anybody to hang your hat on? I mean, you did, but you didn't, sort of deal. Like, things were going well. And we're going to talk about a lot of these guys who we like. But as far as oh, wow, they got some chops. Like they got some serious chops. This is a data point, a good data point moving forward that at a position of need, you can go out and get one of the best of the best. It's not just that he was the second ranked offensive tackle. He was a number 20 overall player in the transfer portal. He went to Tennessee for the last 2 years, 2-year starter, third team all conference this year. And I will say, I'll let you explain it, Luckett, but there's probably some people out there who are like, well, then why the hell did Tennessee let him walk? We remember Tennessee letting another offensive tackle walk, and he walked all the way to the Kroger Field concession stand in Kentucky. What makes this guy different?
Yeah, I'd say turn on the tape would be my first suggestion. Basically, Tennessee has a guy named David Sanders, who was a 5-star recruit in the 25 class, was a true freshman for them this year.
Mm-hmm.
Started at right tackle. But they didn't sign him out of high school and pay him whatever his contract is to play right tackle. So the move always for them was he's going to play left tackle. But Hurd's still here. He didn't want to, I don't think they wanted to move him or whatever. It was just a weird kind of situation.
It's kind of like the Oklahoma saying we recruited Jackson Arnold to be our quarterback. We paid him a bunch of money out of high school. He's here for a year. Dylan Gabriel, sorry, but we picked this guy. We got to go with him. It feels very similar, just at a different position.
Kansas State, right? The quarterback, Will Howard and Avery Johnson, same situation.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what happened. And Austin Price, VolQuest, kind of reported this on a radio hit. Said, Lance Hurd came to Tennessee, said, his agent did, I want whatever the figure was. Tennessee said, I'm not willing to pay that. And then they said, okay, we're going to enter the market. And that's kind of what happened. And Pete Nakos reported, somewhere between 1 and 3. I mean, I guess it's closer to 3 than it is to 1, would be my guess. Using some street sense there. So, Nick, I think he'll probably be the highest paid player on the roster next year, would be my guess.
Yeah. I concur because, they aren't paying through the nose to get Minchie. I mean, I'm sure he's making good money, but.
And just bottom line on Hurd, what I would tell people, he's the best left tackle. He's the best college football left tackle that Kentucky has had since Landon Young. I think you can make the argument he's the best college football left tackle they've had in a long time.
All SEC candidate in the preseason.
I mean, he's going to, when Dane Brugler comes out with his tackles, right, over the summer, he'll be in the top. He'll be among the mix, and he's a good year away from becoming a first-round pick. At worst, if he just has an average year, he's probably a third-round pick.
Yeah. Pretty good ball player.
So they spent money, but to me, they also spent because there's like a high floor with this guy. Like, what you're getting. He's played a ton of snaps in the SEC. He's played through injury at Tennessee. He got hurt in 2024 and kind of had to play through some stuff. So he's played, but he's also been durable. He showed up, and he's only missed 2 games his whole career through 3 seasons. He's got a lot on the line this year because he wants to go, be a first-round pick. Got a lot on the line. So I like kind of how they're spending their money here and just getting him secured. One, he's got two-way value to me. Like in the run game, he's got value as kind of a power drive blocker, but he can also move. Like he's a very good puller. You could do some stuff with him, counters and whatnot. And then, Kentucky's going to run wide zone with Stein. This guy can move, and he can run a track and reach defenders and run outside zone. So he moves well. And then in pass protection, I think he's pretty solid at this point. He does have some weaknesses, but that's something you can work around, and that's something he's probably going to get better at. And it could be a feather in their cap early, Nick. Like if you turn this guy into a late first-round pick or early second-round pick, that's something to sell on the recruiting trail.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy came here. We got him drafted. Specifically an offensive line, which that's such a thing they have to get fixed long term.
Right. This is a way to it's a long way to go to fix it, but this is a step in the right direction. The Cats get a marquee player to play left tackle to help rebuild the Big Blue Wall. They need 5 new offensive line starters this fall, and they're starting with one of the biggest, one of the best in Lance Hurd. There were some other big names that joined the fold over the weekend, but quickly, I need to tell you about our friends at BetMGM. Luckett, BetMGM account, it was firing. We were firing on Saturday. NFL playoffs have been incredible. I had that DJ Moore's receiving yards line was very low, shockingly low. And so we got in on that. We even juiced it up to like 3-1. And he gets it while cashing Bears money line at the Horn. It was awesome. It was a thrill ride. You can be a part of that thrill ride and have a legendary playoff run with BetMGM. BetMGM app, it's a great app. Go ahead, sign up for it now. Do it. When you sign up, use the bonus code ON3. That's ON, the numeral 3. And you're going to get a $1,500 first bet offer when you sign up with this bonus bet, right? So how it works, you make your deposit, whatever your first bet is. If it doesn't hit, you're going to get all of that back in bonus bets with BetMGM. So download that app, use that bonus code ON3 for up to $1,500 back on that first bet offer with BetMGM. They've got all the action you want, all the action you need, whether it's NFL playoffs, college basketball heating up, or the college football playoff national championship. It's been an awesome football weekend. I've been riding the high with BetMGM. You need to make it a legendary run with BetMGM today. See BetMGM.com for terms, 21 plus only. U.S. promotional offers are not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. You can also call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona, 1-800-327-5050 in Massachusetts, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa, 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. That first bet offers for new customers only, subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. BetMGM. Join the ride. Bet with BetMGM. All right, Luckett. Which Texas flavor would you like? Which Texas barbecue plate would you like to sample first? Do you want to go for the beef rib? It's quite a lot to chew on. I kind of like the pork rib, the smokiness, but you can never go wrong with the brisket. So which slice of Texas barbecue are you going after first?
Well, I don't know what's behind these doors, but I'd always go with the brisket first.
Well, the brisket is what's a good comp for brisket in this situation?
So you didn't even know. You were just...
I mean, there's 3 guys we got to talk about. So let's just start with CJ Baxter, right? Let's just go ahead with CJ Baxter. I don't really know how to compare games to cuts of meat, so we will call Baxter the brisket. The running back who was the number one running back in his high school class, a 5-star prospect who was an all-conference freshman when he began his career, had about 600 yards that true freshman season. Big bruiser with some breakaway speed, but he got banged up, right? And that's kind of the name of the game here. That's why he's in the portal. He had the season-ending injury ahead of the 2024 season. He came back for 25, started that Ohio State game, played a few games, and then a hamstring injury popped up. So he was limited this year. Look, this was a recruitment where I don't know, like all of these Texas guys, I guess, except for Elijah Barnes, it felt a little weird, felt a little off at times because he was, for all intents and purposes, it was like, well, this feels like Kentucky's going to lock him up. They're just, agents are wanting a little more money, right? They're trying to squeeze a little more out. He schedules a visit to Colorado. That visit gets canceled. And so you think, okay, well, Cat's got this. But they found another potential spot for him, Indiana. And the way the insiders wrote it, Luckett, you would have thought this guy already had his candy cane pants on, right?
Yes,
it was a done deal. He was going to be a Hoosier daddy drinking beers with Sig. But that visit ends. We posted something on KS Board this afternoon. So y'all got a little bit of a heads up over there that I don't think this is it's all Indiana everything. right? There's an opportunity here, and Kentucky took that opportunity, and the Cats were able to get Baxter in Kentucky blue.
Yeah, the story on CJ Baxter, Nick, one, like Kentucky clearly targeted him early. And number two, I think it's clear that they're not trying to break the bank at running back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that played out with Baxter. Like,
Yeah.
That's what, they were just not at the same price point.
Yeah.
So they had to eventually get there, and that they were able to get there after whatever happened in Bloomington.
Well, and to that point, that is if Mark Stoops is the head coach, they'll just pay more. They would have just paid more and not fiddled with it. Whereas in this instance, Kentucky held firm, and they were able to pull the right levers, if you will, right? Push the right buttons to be able to say, no, we feel confident in our position. We're not going to budge. And then when push came to shove, they were able to find some middle ground and ultimately get it done.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think they just had to find the spot. But again, I just don't think they were trying to spend a ton of money at tailback. They had other needs that they wanted to address. And with Baxter, Nick, like he is the ultimate high ceiling, low floor player in this class, maybe the biggest one. He has the biggest range of outcomes to me, what could happen.
Yeah.
He hasn't been healthy his whole career. Even back to high school, Charles Power scouting report at On3 is, he does all these good things, but hamstring injuries have been a problem for him. And guess what popped up this year? A hamstring injury. And he tore 2 ligaments in his knee, fall camp before sophomore season. So that, knocked out a season. Took him a while to come back from that. Even in his freshman year, he got hurt in fall camp. Like he just has a hard time staying healthy. Now, when this guy is healthy, he's 230 pounds. He's got big play potential, and he is a threat as a receiver out of the backfield. And so, like, if you're getting 100% CJ Baxter, you might be getting a pro tailback.
Right.
One that could be a true RB1 kind of feature back for you. But if you're not, you're getting a banged up guy. And then this last year wasn't great for him. He looked like he was a shell of himself that we saw in high school as a senior down in Orlando, and then as a true freshman. But their whole run game sucked last year.
Yeah.
No one did well.
Offensive line was bad.
Like Trey Weisler was awesome and then had a terrible year this year. So it wasn't the same. But for him, he's got to get healthy. Like, to me, how healthy is he? And if he's healthy and they get a full season out of him, this could be like some real bang for your buck situation for Kentucky where they can maybe get a steal. But if he's not, and it's one of those situations where he can't play a lot, you look at the running back room and you don't feel great about it. Like right now, I think, there's a lot kind of riding on, I think, Baxter. And even Jovante Barnes has got an injury history. So they're taking 2 guys here who are really talented, both of them. Baxter more so, in my opinion. But they both have riddled injury histories.
Well, and I think let's say the 4 does like that. That's where he meddles around all year, and you're dealing with injury stuff. You do have the other options in Barnes, who has been fine when healthy. He was another one of those former blue chipper guys when he signed to play for Oklahoma 4 years ago. But you also kind of liked what you got from Jason Patterson. I just think you would see a different what's like Kentucky is no longer a team that wants to give one guy the ball 25 times a game, right? like Will Stein could deploy a rotation that makes more sense and more of a pass-happy offense, so where it doesn't completely cripple your offensive operation if these guys are crippled with injuries throughout the year. So that at least is the part where it makes sense to me, because like you said, you're taking a big swing, and if not, you have multiple options there. You've got 3 guys who have played at the SEC level and shown you some stuff. And I think the part you mentioned too is noteworthy too. All 3 of those guys showed stuff as pass catchers as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a real part of this offense next year. So that's something to consider here. But it's also just, to me, change of philosophy. here, Nick. Like in the past, like they would have really valued this position and they probably would have paid someone. Where this, they're not as valuing as much and they're taking a swing here. And we'll see how it all plays out. But again, if Baxter's healthy and you get a healthy and motivated CJ Baxter, that could pay huge dividends. And like I'll be interested, like going back and revisiting that decision, like to take him. And that's assuming they don't do anything else at tailback. Just see how that kind of plays out as as a season progresses and comes to a close.
Well, that's 1/3 of the Texas barbecue platter. We're gonna get some ribs and talk about a guy who hits people in the ribs. Bo Barnes, Elijah Barnes, the number 60 recruit in America a year ago, a top-notch, a linebacker who hopped in the portal after his redshirt season. Right, he did. He got the redshirt in, correct?
Yes, I believe he only played 3 regular season games.
Yeah, and then he jumped in the bowl game, had 3 tackles and 19 snaps and a sack in that Cheez-It Bowl, Citrus Bowl, whatever the hell bowl it was, against Michigan. Big-time playmaker Luckett, who I love that he just told Will Stein, like, at Rupp Arena near the 4, yeah, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to commit. And then Stein announced it to all the students. That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I think just this whole process, how UK kind of targeted him and went after him and closed it. That's how, like, if you draw it up, that's how you kind of want it.
Yeah.
Enters the portal Wednesday, get him on campus Friday, commitment on Saturday night. That's pretty efficient. That's how you want these weekends to go. At linebacker, just at large, interesting strategy, I think, here by Kentucky. Right? They've got Grant Godfrey. I keep wanting to say Grant Grayton. Grant Godfrey and Grant Grayton is going to be a fight trying to separate those 2 names when you're trying to get, pull them from the chamber from upstairs. But they've got him at linebacker. And then after that, it's a lot of, I don't know. On the roster. So they knew that it was a big need for them. So the 2 guys they pulled have really no experience, right? With Elijah Bo Barnes and Tavian Wallace. But they're both guys that I think you would project to become like really good players. So, so when are you going to get them to be the really good players, right? Like I think you're bringing Barnes in to be your starting Mike linebacker, like right away as a redshirt freshman.
He's asking a lot.
Then you're going to play Godfrey next to him, and then Tavian Wallace is going to be your number 3, rotating in. So you're really inexperienced at linebacker, but you're also making a play for the future. Like if you get Wallace and this guy together, Barnes together, and they both hit and they both play out, then you could have one of the best linebacker tandems in the country if it plays out that way.
Right.
So there's like some risk associated with this, but it's another big swing, I think, at a position. Maybe instead of
risk taker, right?
Maybe instead of getting into the market and paying a top linebacker top money for a year, they're willing to play the long game a little bit here at off-ball linebacker.
It was a big get. Texas didn't want him to go.
No, they did not. Will Muschamp even like reached out to him and tried to get him out of the portal. And there was a thought that he might actually come back, but he didn't. And Kentucky got that done quick, which I think was probably pretty important.
Pivotal. Kentucky there was a lot of players that they looked at that fit a similar mold whenever Robert Woodyard decided to commit to Missouri. That was the kind of 1-year experience guy that you're going to pay 1 year to start. He goes to Missouri. And so, they looked at a guy from Georgia in the DMV who's one of those former blue chip guys that hadn't played a lot. A lot of guys that fit this profile. But Barnes was, just from a resume standpoint, clearing away the best of the best. And Jay Bateman was able to get it done. Bateman, when they hired him, we said, hey, this guy, he's got some recruiting chops. And that has been abundantly cleared through the first 10 days of this transfer portal period, Mr. Luckett.
Yeah, absolutely. I think DMV, like he had the connection with Andre Clark, helped get that done. Here, he got Barnes done. Texas, got some Texas ties. So Jordan Castell, right? Aaron Gates. Like he's gotten some, I think, good players for Kentucky. to this point. He has been an asset for them as a recruiter.
It's been nice on the defensive side, but for our last piece of Texas barbecue, we're going to a stud on the offensive line of scrimmage, DeAndre Moore Jr. He was the first surprise visitor on campus a week ago. That was kind of out of left field. Found out about it in the middle of the night that he had canceled his plans to Ole Miss to show up to Kentucky. Produced quite a pop, got people very excited, but it wasn't going to happen overnight. He's a receiver after all, Luckett, right? Like you got to have a little bit of dramatics behind it all. So Moore, he visits Colorado, and then Ole Miss got him there for a visit on Saturday. And the people I talked to, like there was nobody who was like confirmed saw him, but people were about 90% sure he made it to Oxford. But nevertheless, we're at a point now where it feels like he's deciding within the next 24 hours. And even though there's been a lot of other things that have happened, people still feel good about where Kentucky sits. You never know with these receivers, and especially when Coach Prime's involved, right? Like that's a little just you don't know about that wild card.
Right. But Kentucky again has made him big target, got him on campus first.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've really taken a big swing here. He's a big target for them.
And he seems to have a really good relationship with CJ Baxter, too.
Yeah, a good relationship with Baxter. I heard he was like interested, like by the Leavitt proposition that obviously didn't play out. But Kenny Minchie, I think, is probably an established enough, hasn't played yet, but played at Notre Dame. You know, if you do any reading on Minchie, a lot of people have high hopes or a high belief that he can become a good starter. Stein's offense, obviously. So, yeah, I think more like he is, plug him into the slot, let him go to work. He's probably leading you in targets, receptions next year for this offense. So he's the next big one, but then Malcolm Simmons is out there.
Yeah, he's the opposite of Moore from like we found out about his arrival because of a social media post, but that has been a very under wraps recruitment. And it's one of those things that when you see his other suitors like Texas A&M and was Ole Miss the other one?
Arkansas. They've been adding guys that would seemingly suggest, especially Isaiah Horton today at A&M, seem to suggest that they're – well, never doubt the landman because they just – look what Texas is doing right now. So
yeah. So you would think that Kentucky should be in a pretty good spot, but it's just you never know with these portal recruitments, man. You never know.
Yeah. And it's day 10. Options are off the board. You've made this top target. It would be a big one. Specifically more like Louisville's involved heavily. Ole Miss, who you're going up against a lot, who you will continue to go up against.
Yeah.
A fair amount. It would just be a good win and a huge part. You talk about the feed the studs, that's a stud, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Him and Simmons is harder one to get a read on. Like no one really knows what's going on. But if let's just play this out. If they got, Moore and Simmons, it's worth getting excited about. I'm just going to tell you. That'd be fun. Those two together. And then, if you hit with Minchie, you could have a really fun offense next year.
And then the other part of this that gets overlooked because it's not as fun as learning the new pieces, but now more than ever with the way that they're announcing re-signings and returnings this year, Kentucky got two awesome tight ends back. And I know there's more than just these guys in the room, but Willie Rodriguez would have been arguably the best tight end in the transfer portal if he decided to enter. And I know people would probably, Vince would try. He was going to go somewhere bigger than Louisville if he entered the portal because he has shown enough on tape, that size, that athleticism. And he had the most productive year of a tight end since CJ Conrad's senior season, and that was really his first year playing, right? His freshman year, he was kind of special teams, didn't have a very big role. So you could see a much higher ceiling in an offense that really values its tight ends, that just had Kenyon Sadiq get like 700 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns or something like that at Oregon. But furthermore, Michael Skinner, this is a guy that, like, look at, I was very concerned that he was just going to get wasted by Bush Hampton. Like, just like candidly, I was very concerned. Like, you have this guy who is an incredible athlete that just they just don't build guys this size with this kind of athleticism, right? But you have to be able to package it properly in order to use that athleticism. You know, you can't have him lining up on the inline trying to block these big edge guys in the SEC. He needs to be a flex. And the way I liken it to just like the year that Isaiah Cummings had with Liam Cohen back in 21. But Skinner's better than Isaiah Cummings. No offense to him. Like Skinner, just the tools are his ceiling is so high. So he redshirts last year, announces he's coming back. This is
hurt camp.
Yeah. But this is one of those Luckett that I like. I'm going to be beating that big damn drum for Michael Skinner for a lot of this summer. I know Willie Rodriguez is awesome, but I'm very excited to see what Stein how they can utilize him, because he's such a different kind of player, man. You get him stuck on a linebacker, or he can blow right by him, or if a safety's on him, he just catch it right over the top of him. So I'm very excited to see what Skinner can do in Will Stein's offense.
Yeah, I think him and Willie are unique weapons. They're also a little different. So, yeah, how you use them, I think it's pretty interesting. And then if you get the receivers, you know, I think you've got the pieces there. Like, just play it out. Like, what's perfect case scenario? Like, Baxter hits. It's one of the better backs in the SEC. You get Moore. You get Simmons. You got a nice 1-2 punch. You have a fun group of tight end. And then you have, I think, some younger guys with maybe DJ Miller, Kenny Darby.
Yeah.
It's the Kenny offense. Kenny Darby, Kenny Minchie. Where you got the pieces come together where you could be pretty good on offense. I think that's definitely possible. Now we'll have to see if that plays out. But offensively, like, you can see the upside, I think, with this group. No doubt about it. And if Minchie, you know, let's say it was a close call. You know, it's a close call with CJ Carr. Let's say they're the same quarterback. Then you're going to have one of the top, bare minimum, top 20, 25 quarterbacks in college football next year. If he's as good as CJ Carr, which is what that camp battle will tell you.
Yeah. So it's
exciting. A lot to get excited about on offense. It's just going to look different offensively. And their style of play is going to be different. So a lot of the unknowns, like, right? Like, we don't even know how, like, spring is going to work out. Like, what does the spring look like? What is and you're seeing videos of the coaches. It's like, oh, that's new. Social media. Not used to that. That's been, I mean, not saying Mark Stoops and them never did that. Yeah, used to.
Yeah. Early on.
But over the last 4 or 5 years, they stopped doing that. So I think, you know, the fan outreach is important. Just like the Stein video today, Nick. Like, people just eat it up. It says nothing, right?
I mean, he
says, "Hey, I'm excited. Go Cats!" and everyone loves it.
He also, I love the excitement that he started the video with, but my man is running on E. Like, that guy was just going through it on Friday night.
I know that look. That's the look I give Henry at 4 a.m. when he wakes me up. Won't let me lay him down. I'm like, dude, are we doing this? Are we about to wrestle right now so I can get you to sleep? That's the look where the coffee's not working anymore. Right?
Oh, yeah. Like, right here, too, is when it hits, where he's just like, oh, okay, how do I end this? Like, how do I? It reminds me, too, of the when you have your first kid and you've never really experienced what true fatigue is, and you never knew you could be that tired. And you know what? Will Stein's there right now. But you know what? He's putting in the work. I think Kentucky fans are very happy he is. His quarterback on Friday night was a little loose with the ball. I think it would be an understatement. That was Indiana's a freaking wagon, man. They were relentless.
Turnovers did not give them a chance, but even without the turnovers, they'd probably lose by a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, Indiana might just be the freaking meat grinder, like that nobody stood a chance against all year. But they lose Friday night. He gets into town Saturday. He's here all day. He's at the game Saturday night. Kentucky beats Mississippi State. Recruiting all day today. They had their last batch of visitors, but there is a little bit of reprieve. So a dead period starts at midnight, means no recruits on campus through Wednesday. It was one of those where I'm like, why would they have a dead period in the middle of a 14-day portal window? But like you pointed out, that it's a coaches convention is going.
Yeah, it's going on right now. I think it moves around. I think it was in Charlotte or San Antonio. I think it was in San Antonio, and I think they recently moved it to Charlotte.
Yeah, it used to be a much bigger deal because it
used to go on during the national championship.
Yeah,
it was that week. Yeah. But now the calendar's all wonky. I'll be
where they would hire everybody.
Yeah, right. And it's not just like it's like D2 too. Like coaches from all over, just thousands of coaches. It's like their combine for the media when we get to go to the combine. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's part of the reason why they have it. The other part was like this is around the time of the ad drop.
Yeah.
Get guys in school. You just give coaches a break from everything. So, yeah, we've got a random 3-day dead period. And then you've got, to me, Nick, like the final kind of push.
Right.
Because soon after that, next weekend is kind of, I think, the final ad drop day, at least for Kentucky. I don't know where everyone else kind of sits. And if you want to show that spreadsheet.
While Peak pulls up the spreadsheet, we got a special visitor in the chat. The Barnes family is locked into 11 personnel. So shout out Elijah Barnes, Bo Barnes.
Very nice.
Enter in the chat. Happy to have you hanging out with the 11 personnel crew.
Welcome to Big Blue Nation. First of all, look forward to seeing the Barnes family out at Kroger Field this year. And look forward to seeing them here on 11 Personnel and 11 Personnel community. We do it every week. We're talking ball. Look forward to seeing Bo Barnes get out there and crack some skulls.
Like Will Stein, we usually have a lot more energy. We probably crack some more jokes, right? Some fart jokes. So I apologize in advance for my bad dad.
Daryl Bird's out here catching passes. The Barnes family doesn't get it yet, but maybe they'll get the joke one day. And so stuff happens.
Yeah. This is I gotta say that blitz that we had, we didn't mention that Kentucky they did add a second quarterback. I'm gonna call him Jake Long because I don't know how to say Jacques or whatever, but they did get a second quarterback from Marshall. And so that happened. There was a lot of other stuff. Some Mississippi State kid came in. We briefly mentioned Jordan Castell earlier. I think that happened in between YouTube recordings, but Castell is a 3-year starter. I'm incredibly high on. I mean, it takes a lot to be a 3-year starter. And then when I talked to people about Aaron Gates down at Florida, they were describing him as all SEC talent. Just couldn't stay healthy, right? But he's got all the athleticism in the world. So are there any other?
Yeah, the one thing I just wanted to point out, we've got 90 plus names on this damn sheet. And there's a lot of green, so that means commits. Yep. And then in the middle, these are free agents, and the red is off the board. So you see in the middle here, there's not a ton left. Like you see Bo Hughley, the Georgia tackle. You see Jordan Jones, the kid from Ashland. You see Sam Levitt, obviously. That's not happening, as we know.
Right.
Draylon Miller, who was supposed to visit, was at A&M Saturday. Haven't got confirmation. He was at Kentucky. And then obviously Malcolm Simmons and DeAndre Moore. And then Kyle Parker, Justin Rowland reported Friday that the LSU slot receiver visited Kentucky. He's also visited Ole Miss and Auburn, so he's an option there. And if you kind of go through this, Nick, you'll see Texas, 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 Texas. Like a lot of guys from Texas here that they're targeting. I think that's going to be a theme. For Will
working
Stein
their connections
moving forward.
Working those connections. And the other part too in all of this is, I mean, those are just the ones that we know about. I mean, of the 25 commitments, now some of them are specialists that you're not going to, we're not scouting out the specialist ranks in the transfer portal, but there are quite a few guys that they sneak on campus, right? Because they don't
Sure.
want, that's how the game works, right? If it gets out, then they might lose the guy. So right now there are 25 players. The one thing that makes it difficult for us to sort of handicap right now too is that the scholarship changes this year, right? They're going to 105. We're not really sure how they're going to fill it all out. And then there's just the uncertainty of, some of these guys on the roster right now they still have time to enter the portal too. It doesn't close up shop till Friday, technically.
Yeah. First of all, shout out Taylor Luckett, wife. Helped me out with the spreadsheet this year. Made it look a little bit better because I had it just an absolute mess. So we got it cleaned up a little bit. But yeah, Nick, I'm going to have an update on the kind of the scholarship numbers. Right now, I've got them at 80 scholarship players. Now, consider maybe there's probably 10 or so players on the roster right now they're going to keep that were, I would assume, walk-ons.
Yeah.
They'll probably make partial scholarship players or something.
Right,
See, I want to do some digging. Like, can you have more than 105 players?
Yeah, but only 105 scholarships, which is
okay.
That's my guess, because that's kind of what they did this year, right? They had 85 scholarships, but more than 85 players.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll be interested in that. But basically, like counting the long snapper and the backup kicker that they added. Don't have the names in front of me right now, but
Zagu was the kicker, and then Renati or Sundati.
Yeah, Kick Z
and Snap, Italian snapper.
Z,
and the Australian punter. Like,
Spencer Adnati. Yes,
there we go. Matt said that we're bringing an Australian punter from Murray State. The guy never said anything, but Aussie punting coming back.
So we got 80 confirmed right now. So there's still room, right?
Yeah.
Like if you consider just like, let's say, call it 90, and then you got 15 full scholarships to disperse for walk-ons or whatever. So they still got room to add, 8 to 12 players. Just conservative to maybe less conservative estimate there. So there's still room for them to add some guys. So they're not done. It's been a crazy wave, but we thought from the beginning, you're looking at 30 plus. They're at 25 right now. And so they're going to add some more help.
Yeah. And as a recap, the three kind of big names that we know of that are still out there, 2 wide receivers, DeAndre Moore from Texas, Malcolm Simmons from Auburn, and then Tegra Shabola from Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Hoping to get some clarity on Monday, but hey, you never know. That's the beautiful thing about the portal. The sword cuts both ways. Sometimes you get great news that you don't expect, like Lance Hurd committing, and other times it's, okay, we're going to keep playing the waiting game. Who knows what's going to happen, right? So it's
right. We've been on DeAndre Moore and Malcolm Simmons watch here for feels like 2 months. I feel like we've been through it's like NBA playoff time frame. Feels like we're in the conference finals, game 6, and they still haven't committed yet. It's just like, what is taking so long?
I mean, I have written 2 drafts in case DeAndre Moore does commit to Kentucky, because one wasn't enough. I needed to write a second one at 1 a.m. last night.
Sometimes stuff happens too fast. Like we got our ducks in a row about Bo Barnes Saturday, and I was like, I'll just write it first thing in the morning. I'll write the draft. Probably happen at some point. So it happened Saturday, so you don't know. It's unpredictable. So you just got to be ready. We've worked a lot of long hours this week.
Yep.
It's been fun. I've enjoyed it, I have to say, even though it's been crazy. But the surprises keep you going.
Yep.
And you all keep us going at KS Board.
Yep. We appreciate you joining along for the ride. We know that more and more have hopped along over the last 10 days or so. And don't worry, even when the portal does close up shop, we're going to be continuing delivering the goods over on KSR Plus. So if you haven't done it, come join us now. It's 50% off while the transfer portal is open. We greatly appreciate y'all hanging out with us there. But you know what? Luckett, we went 55 minutes. We went 55 minutes, and we were able to record without a commitment. Luckett, we did it. We made it. We survived.
The spreadsheet is the holy grail. I'm currently workshopping a way to include this for our Plus subscribers.
I mean, Bill Connolly does the thing where he has a spreadsheet that I guess it's a Google Doc. So you'd have to go to Google Docs.
I got Google. That's what it is. It's a Google Doc.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if we can just embed it in a post. Like I got to talk to On3 Tech, like figure something out here. But I'm feeling, the 2027 board, I've got about probably 50 to 60 names, but there's at least 50 players that I think they've offered that I haven't even put on there yet. That I'll get to after the portal. So I think we're going to make that available to follow throughout the recruiting cycle in some way. So yeah, that recruiting, it's a good resource for your KSR.
Yeah.
Your KSR friends, because we've got it, even historically, we've got it back. I've got it back since the beginning of the Stoops era. So we've got all the players in there for 15 years now almost.
All the way back to Dorian Hendricks and Thaddeus Snodgrass and Jaleel Heiche. So.
Oh, yeah. We're talking like Josh Kroc, Josh Richardson.
Ooh, well, Rubio.
Tamir DeBose.
The Rubio.
Yeah. Nate Willis. I mean, we've got Jordan Swindle, I think it's on the 2013 one, maybe.
Nate Willis. I said something to you because there was I was doing some social media sleuthing, and he was coaching a guy that, might have been a transfer portal target.
Yeah, we got a professional wrestler on here. That's how long this has been going on, Stephen Borden.
All right, well, this thing's going pretty long. I'm running out of fumes. It's 6-3. Pat's got a narrow lead and a slobber knocker. Should have taken the under. What was I thinking?
Some hitters today, or all weekend with the playoffs. Like every game's gone down to the.
Every game's been a one-score game so far. So it's been a very super wild card weekend. I know that's the other part too, is when you want to catch them on sleep, there's like an awesome football game that keeps you up late. I just know that I'm going to be watching the Steelers tomorrow night, just biting my knuckles in a
race to 13,
9-7 game and just punching air at 11:30 at night.
The rate, the bets, the race to how many points? Like, what's the race to the points in the Steelers Texans?
It really is. I think it's 13. Well, unless there's turnovers, right? I mean, like that's especially the way the Texans operate.
Yeah.
I mean, both sides they force a ton of turnovers. So that I was very excited when they beat the Ravens, but it's the day before the game, and now I'm at the getting anxiety over a primetime standalone game.
Well, it's just the dread, because then it's like, what is it, like 6 playoff games he would have lost in a row, something like that?
Yeah. There's just. And I love Tomlin. It's like, come on, Tomlin, get us one more. You got a team you can, the matchup works out. You can get it. So,
and it's open. There's no big dogs. And you'll be on the opposite side of the bracket of Josh Allen. To me, that Bills Jags game, I didn't watch it, but I felt like if I go back and watch it, it's just going to be like, oh, this team has Josh Allen. The other
team because Trevor Lawrence sucked. He went back to I guess it'd be November, right?
Yeah. It's like the Andy Dalton principle. If the other team has a star quarterback that's, clearly better, then it's just hard to win playoff games.
Yeah. And Josh Allen, I thought he hurt his finger at one time. He hit a helmet on a throw. He hit his knee running for a touchdown. I think he had 5 different injuries. Joe Brady was just like, who cares? Just Josh Allen, go win the damn thing. I don't care if you're going to get 20 injuries. You're going to do this.
Yeah, it's got no receivers, throwing to, two white tight ends. Shakir's a fine slot receiver, but he just makes it work.
Oh, and then meanwhile, the 49ers, they lose George Kittle. They don't have Pearsall. They're the most every team always is like, why are we so – dude, the 49ers are the most injured team ever. Just name the year.
Yeah, he's coach of the year, in my opinion.
He just keeps winning. It's insane.
We
get that rematch in the divisional round.
Jones. And Mac Jones, that was a train wreck with the Jags last year.
Do you remember when Mac Jones said he saw a dead body on the way to a game?
Yes. Do remember that now that you say it.
That happened this year.
Yeah, it feels like an eternity ago.
Well, that's the transfer portal. You get sucked in.
San Francisco 49er football 2025.
All right, well, we're going to get out of here. He's Adam Luckett. I'm Nick Roush. It's been a pleasure. We'll see y'all before too long right here on the KSR YouTube channel.